They say Hollywood is all smoke and mirrors, but this one got messy. Just days after Jack Black gave Rachel Zegler a not-so-subtle reality check over her Snow White drama, Rachel fired back, and not in the way you'd expect. Instead of staying silent or letting the backlash fade, she clapped back with statements, shade, and interviews that only added fuel to the fire. What began as a critique turned into a full-blown celebrity standoff, and now the internet's picking sides. So what exactly did Jack say? Why did Rachel snap? And is this feud about more than Snow White? Let's break it down.
Damage control is continuing. It's almost like someone finally gave Rachel Zegler a script to use. Rachel Zegler is addressing the multi-pronged backlash she faced. I interpret people's feelings about this film as their passion for it.
1. He reality checks her on social media. It started subtly, but fans picked up on it fast. In a TikTok clip that quickly went viral, Jack Black was seen discussing the backlash surrounding Disney's Snow White remake. Without naming names, he referenced young actors forgetting the legacy they're stepping into, adding that mocking a classic doesn't make you modern, it makes you forgettable. The comment wasn't just a jab, it was a direct hit, and everyone knew who he was talking about. YouTubers jumped on the moment, stitching Jack's statement with clips of Rachel's infamous interview where she called the original prince a stalker and laughed at the romantic plot. The contrast was brutal. Even though Jack didn't tag Rachel or mention her by name, the commentary was unmistakably aimed her way. Fans praised his respect for the classics, and some even said he voiced what millions of frustrated Disney lovers were already thinking. The message, you can be modern without tearing down the past. And coming from Jack Black, that message hit louder than most.
Oh my God. First look. Well, hilariously, I do not know what they watched. I did not see it. We were not allowed to watch. We had to stand on our spot backstage. So it sounded like they really liked it, which is really, really exciting. I saw the title card, which looked great.
I think that is amazing.
Brilliant, awesome, really, really good.
Yeah, as always, the good to expect. Cast was fantastic, beautiful, very well produced.
2. She fires back in interviews. Rachel Zegler didn't stay silent for long. In an interview with Vogue Mexico, she addressed the growing backlash and what many saw as Jack Black's indirect shade. She insisted her comments had been misinterpreted, saying that her goal was never to insult the original Snow White, but rather to give the character more independence and depth for modern audiences. But the tone was defensive. She doubled down, claiming she was tired of being misunderstood and that people were twisting her words just to stir up hate online. She added, "I'm allowed to want more for female characters. That doesn't make me disrespectful, that makes me honest." The response sparked even more debate. Supporters praised her for standing her ground in the face of criticism, but her critics saw it as another example of Rachel refusing to take accountability, deflecting instead of acknowledging the tone of her original remarks. The interview didn't just keep the controversy alive, it poured gasoline on it.
But I think there's something so special about Snow White, the fact that it's about the humanity and it's about nature as well, and it's a beautiful story about an amazing girl who wants to find the true self of hers, that is just so appealing and so special.
I was scared of the original cartoon. I think I watched it once and then I never picked it up again. Like, I'm being so serious. I watched
3. Clip goes viral. Reignites debate. The drama didn't fade. It exploded. A short TikTok clip titled "Rachel Zegler Reacts to Jack Black's Snow White Comments" quickly went viral, racking up over 100,000 views in less than 24 hours. The video showed a mashup of Jack Black's original criticism with Rachel's Vogue Mexico response, edited for maximum tension. It wasn't just trending, it was divisive.
To everyone who hates when I win, I can only hope that despite my flaws, that at every premiere and everything I do, people will wait in line to see.
Comments flooded in from both sides. Some viewers sided with Rachel, saying she was unfairly targeted for speaking her truth. Others claimed she was doubling down instead of reflecting. But perhaps most striking was how many people started blaming both actors, saying the whole feud was another example of Hollywood stars being out of touch. On Reddit and YouTube, the clip was reposted and analyzed like a political scandal. Creators started making reaction videos dissecting her tone, her facial expressions, even her word choices. Many pointed out that this wasn't the first time Rachel had faced backlash, and it definitely wouldn't be the last. What started as a disagreement turned into a full-blown PR wildfire.
after critics trashing them as bad people.
It's gone viral. It's gone viral.
Has it? I hope so.
I hope so.
Am I in my villain era or in my hero era?
That's because she's half Colombian and half Polish, and being mixed race, there's gonna be some people upset whenever she's cast for a role that's traditionally white or traditionally Hispanic.
I hope I'm always in my hero era. I think we should all be.
4. She accuses him of gamifying her criticism. Rachel didn't stay silent after the viral wave hit. In fact, she doubled down, this time with a sharper edge. In a now deleted Instagram story and a few carefully worded tweets, Rachel implied that Jack Black's mockery turned her serious points into a joke. While she never mentioned him by name, the timing and tone were crystal clear. She wrote, "It's wild how quickly thoughtful discussion turns into internet games for clicks." That single post sparked a new wave of speculation. Was Rachel accusing Jack Black of gamifying her criticism? Many fans believed she was, and they weren't all sympathetic. Commentators pointed out that Jack's videos were comedic by nature. That's literally his brand. But Rachel's reaction made it sound like her message was being turned into viral entertainment, stripped of nuance and framed as a PR train wreck. For her, it wasn't just about one film. It was about artistic intent being mocked in front of millions. Suddenly, this wasn't just a celebrity spat. It became a conversation about the fine line between comedy and ridicule, and whether male celebrities are given more leeway when it comes to public criticism. The feud had officially evolved into something bigger than either of them expected.
Is back in the news because her PR team is working overtime right now to fix her image because so many of these resurfaced video clips of her just make her look really, really bad. What matters here is perception. Who she actually is actually has little consequence on any of this. How she's perceived by the world, that's what matters.
Right.
And how she's perceived by the world is not good because she hasn't been able to escape these interview clips which show a clear disdain for the company she works for.
5. Hollywood weighs. And as the drama escalated, Hollywood started paying attention. Some industry insiders sided with Rachel, arguing that young women in Hollywood are often torn apart for speaking their minds, especially when challenging outdated narratives like the original Snow White. A few even praised her passion, calling it a refreshing push for progress in storytelling, but others weren't so kind. Podcasters, commentators, and even fellow actors criticized her tone, calling it condescending, premature, and tone-deaf. One producer, anonymously quoted by The Hollywood Reporter, said, "This isn't about modernizing a fairy tale. It's about learning how to read the room." Jack Black, meanwhile, didn't feed the fire any further. His silence was louder than words, and many interpreted that as him letting the internet defend him while Rachel kept digging herself deeper. Even on fan forums and Reddit, the conversation turned into a battle of perception. Was Rachel a misunderstood artist standing up for her vision, or was she overreacting to fair criticism and losing control of the narrative?
On her love story with a guy who literally stalks her.
Yeah.
Weird.
Super weird.
So we didn't do that this time.
So no Prince or a different kind of Prince?
We have a different approach to what I'm sure a lot of people will assume is a love story just because.
By the end of it all, Rachel had gone from rising star to polarizing figure, all in the span of a few viral moments. And Jack, well, he came out of it largely unscathed, proving that in Hollywood, how you handle the spotlight is sometimes more important than what you say in it.